Y'all check out this blend. The importance of flicking out. This took me 30 minutes. You can do that too. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another tutorial. This is how my client walked in. We're gonna get into detail on how I performed and executed this cut. So let's jump straight into it. So by the title of this video, you can see that this is going to be a V fade. What makes it that is the shape in the back. So I'm gonna start off by putting in my initial bald line with my trimmers, and I'm starting in the back. This way we can get the center point of his head. If we were to start off in the side, it might get off-centered. So that's why we do that in the back first. Now I'm going to create my line on the side and connect those two together to get a consistent and straight line. Always take your time on doing this first step because this is going to be the foundation of our haircut. All of our guidelines are going to be based off this single line. Now I'm just bringing it down to a bald finish. It's going to give it a better transition. The first guard we're going to be using is the 1.5 guard. And I'm going in with the lever all the way closed. I am going about 2 fingers high, and I'm just following that bald line consistently through. This is going to be a 3-step technique. I start off with the lever all the way closed, go up about 2 fingers high, open the lever halfway, I'll go up about 1/4 inch, and finally I'll open the lever all the way and flick out the remaining of that line. Very important to flick out. This is going to help us minimize our time in detailing and blending. Since we already have our 1.5 guard, I'm just gonna follow that all the way through around the head. That way we don't gotta redo this step. Now that we have the guard on, just get it over with and do the whole head. This is gonna help us save time. Now when it comes to doing the guideline in the back, make sure to keep that V consistent. I've seen some people round it out with the guidelines, and even if your bald line is into a sharp V, but if you're rounding out these guidelines, it's just gonna look like a regular low fade. So we don't want that with this particular haircut. The 1.5 guard is going to be the biggest guard we're using, and to blend in the rest of that bulk, we're going to use the clipper over comb technique. The key to this technique is keeping the comb at an angle, but keeping the bottom of the cone against the head. Not only are we blending in the bulk, but we are also creating the shape, sculpting the sides. It is gonna take some trial and error, but trust me, once you get this technique down, it's gonna save so much time. And if you're flicking out properly, there won't be much to have to blend with the comb. Now we're gonna take that guard off and go in with the lever all the way open. We're going up about a finger's width, literally half of what we did with the 1.5 closed. That would be the best way to picture it. Just cut it in half with the no guard open. And if you have to go through it a few times, that's okay. We want this to be consistent, and the less detailing we have to do, the better. Remember to keep that V shape sharp. You don't want to round it out. Now the next and the last guard we're going to be using is the 0.5 guard, and we're going to repeat that same 3-step technique. I'm starting in with the lever all the way closed, going up about 1/4 inch. I'm going to open that lever halfway, go up another 1/4 inch, but as I'm doing this, I'm flicking out. So that's the key to this technique, really. You got to flick out. And finally, I'll open the lever all the way and get out the rest of those dark spots at the top. Once you get to the lever halfway open, it should be pretty blended. What we're doing with the lever fully open is pretty much just detailing the top of that area. I find it easier to just use half of my blade or just the corners, because this way we can apply less pressure and not create another harsh line. So the more you open the lever, the less pressure you're applying. When my lever is all the way closed, that's when I'm applying the most pressure, because you really want to get that line at the bottom out. And you're gonna flick it out like in a scooping motion. By doing this, you'll really see the time you cut off your blends. You can already see this blend coming together. All we need to get rid of is that bottom bald line, and this is gonna connect all of this. I'm taking off that guard and following that same 3-step technique with the lever all the way closed and flicking out that bottom line. I'll open the lever halfway, apply less pressure, and flick out more, still following that consistent line. And like I said, once you get to the lever halfway open, it should already be blended. What we do with the lever all the way open is just detail the dark spots and break that line apart. Even if you can't blend it all the way, but the more you break it apart, the more blended it will seem. Once you get to the point where you can't really see lines, but it's more like dark spots, that's when using the corners is very important, because you don't want to accidentally cut into the other side and put in another line, or leave a patch. Now, to blend out this last line on the V, I find it easier to do the left portion first until it's completely blended, and then I'll do the right portion. That way I don't accidentally end up rounding it out if I go all the way through. I'll just do one side and then the other as soon as I'm done. I also do a lot of detailing with my trimmer when it comes down to the smaller, darker areas. For the C-cup arch, I always start at the top and then work my way down. This helps me prevent bringing the line higher than it needs to. I try to only use the edge of my trimmer to give me more control over this area. Just want to mention real quick, if you need any Gamma or Stylecraft tools, be sure to use my discount code CHOOCH and it'll help you save a little bit money on these purchases. Finishing off with some razor work, and we are getting to the end of this video, guys. I really hope you were able to learn something. Look at this final look. You can see in the back it goes into that V shape, blended up. It just looks pretty dope and different from your regular low fades. But if you try out this technique, let me know how it went for you in the comments. Make sure to give me a like and a subscribe. This is going to give me the motivation I need to continue making these videos for you guys. And be sure to check out my other social media accounts. Peace out.